has changed, you would hardly notice that it has changed, because the order of the day is just as it has always been for the last 62 years, and that is remarkable. That tells that our potential as a nation is not tailored specifically to the urban area or the capital city, and this should tell everybody else that this issue of urbanization, the rural-urban drift, must be put to a halt. So long as we commit resources to the other parts of the country, it is possible for us to be able to do our best wherever we find ourselves. And this is a clear example that indeed Ghana could be more than it already is. Remember, Addo, we are the leading country for democracy and development in Africa. We set the pace, we paved the way, and Addo,
former President John Dramani Mahama just making his arrival at the Mahama Sports Stadium here in Tamale. And I almost said Black Star Square because over the years we have gotten used to the Black Star Square.
Exactly.
But so former President John Mahama arriving at the venue for this year's 62nd Independence Anniversary celebration. Again, Selicam, we've seen a number of dignitaries arrive at the venue. Already the Yagonra Tintumba Borisa II has arrived. So has the Mionlana, who was recently also installed. The Mionlana is Muhammadu Abdullahi. He has also arrived at the venue already. The Yona Yakubu Andani has also arrived. So has the Nayiri also made his arrival. You know, the Nayiri is now Mahami Abdullahi Sheriga. He came here just a little under 10 minutes ago.
Right.
And we've seen some other dignitaries, indeed, members of the diplomatic corps are all here. But most importantly, the stadium is almost filled to capacity. The few places left, and part of which we are currently seeing on the screen, is the VIP section of the Mahama Sports Stadium. And so the few spaces left have been reserved for some very important personalities. Otherwise, there are a lot more people currently outside the premises of the stadium, and they have been disallowed from coming in because the stadium simply cannot contain all the numbers here. This, remember, is a stadium that has the capacity of more than 20,000 people. And so what it means is that more than 20,000 people have made it here to witness this very historic event. And the parade commander is already taking their positions in preparation for the arrival of all the other dignitaries. The vice president, of course, is already in town. He's expected to make his arrival. And so will the president. And as soon as the president does make his arrival, the official program will begin. But we've also been talking about the participation of children, students in this whole process, Selicam. And I can tell you they have been rehearsing in the past several weeks. We brought you stories about some of the rehearsals right here on GBC's networks. But we also did tell you that the weather here at this time of the year is a bit dry and hot. And we have been told by the organizers that they will keep the ceremony as short and as brief as possible, so that especially the children can go back home and have some refreshments. And so that's what we've been told about preparations for this morning's event. And this parade is made up of school children, the Ghana Police Service, the Ghana Armed Forces. The Armed Forces made up of the Navy, the Air Force, and all officers have arrived already, and they have taken their seats. We have a lot more of the traditional rulers who have arrived here. We'll be making them known to you subsequently. But Selicam, we're talking about also the weather, and it's just under a little before. Is it 10 o'clock? Yeah, it's not 10 o'clock yet.
It's 10 o'clock yet. We're looking at 9 o'clock now.
Yes.
In the morning. And around this time of day, it's expected that it's supposed to be dry. It's windy, but still dry and still sunny. Interesting weather there, and of course we have the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Professor Michael Quay, just arriving, making his way into the stadium. And
Right Honourable Michael Quay was sworn into office on the 6th of January 2017 as the Speaker of Parliament, and remember, he's also a political historian. He's written a lot of books about Ghana's political history, and it is instructive that he has arrived here for this important occasion as well. He is also a professor of history as well as of politics, and he has been in politics for a very long time. Professor Michael Quay has just made his arrival here at the Addo Mahama Sports Stadium in Tamale. Of course, we will soon also witness the arrival of the chairperson of the Council of State, and other dignitaries. Of course, the Chief Justice and the Speaker of Parliament have all arrived, and it means that it is, yes.
Beautiful view over there of the parade, the contingents displayed. That's just a beautiful shot. That's who we are as a people. This is coming to you from the Addo Mahama Sports Stadium, formerly known as the Tamale Sports Stadium. But in the year 2017, the name was changed to the Addo Mahama Sports Stadium to honor the late Vice President Addo Mahama. And of course, we know that it is home to Real Tamale United, and is used mostly for football matches. But it came into being as one of the stadiums that hosted some matches during the 2008 African Cup of Nations. And as we've already indicated, we're talking about a capacity, seating capacity of over 20,000. That's just the sitting capacity. We have a lot more people around performing various functions and various roles.
That's right. And just outside the premises of the stadium, a lot more activities are ongoing. The relocation of this year's Independence Anniversary celebration from Accra to Tamale has a lot of importance for the people here, especially in terms of the economy. The local economy is booming currently. People are engaged in all sort of businesses, and for anyone who is currently outside of Accra and wishing to visit Tamale, if you do not already have a hotel booked, I can assure you that probably tonight and you won't have any hotel. We have been going around since we arrived here, and the story has remained the same from hotel to hotel, from guest house to guest house, and from lodge to lodge. Every single space has been taken, and for the hospitality industry, this is good business as well. But also, when you talk about pure water producers, they are also in business. Around this time of the year, naturally in these parts of the country, the weather is quite hot, and people drink a lot of water. But in addition to that, there is also the Independence celebration, which has come here, and that means that a lot more people have been visiting Tamale in the last couple of weeks, and that means that they continue to produce a lot more of the water, and that's another contribution. Don't forget about the paraphernalia sellers who are outside the stadium currently. But again, Silicon, we've been talking about the students who are excited to be a part of this celebration. You just saw them on your screens a while ago. These students are so excited. You talk to them, and the stories they are already telling us, it's amazing, Silicon.
It's amazing. It is a historic event, and we do know that the reason why this particular celebration was brought to this part of the country is to symbolize and commemorate the Dagbon unity and to solidify peace and unity achieved in Dagbon, as said by His Excellency the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And we do know that Dagbon made history following the coronation of a new overlord at the Gbiwa Palace under the scheme title Yana Abukari Mahama II putting behind them 17 years of a protracted dispute over who sits on the skin. And also looking at history, the killing of Yana Yakubu Andani II in March 2002, along with 30 others, led to a dispute between the two royal gates of the kinship, the Andanis and the Abudus, and leaving them without an overlord for 17 years. Now, the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, made a promise that he was indeed going to unite both sides, and in a historic event that has happened. And of course, to put the perfect icing on the cake, His Excellency the President had to continue with the move that was started by former President John Agyekum Kufuor to bring up peace. There was a setting up of a committee of eminent chiefs in 2002, and of course, all of these came together to bring lasting peace to Dagbon. And of course, His Excellency the President continued with that process, bringing all of this into a beautiful ceremony.
Thank you very much for bringing us that education. Currently, we find the parade commander and the parade adjutant. Just to provide you a little more information on them.
With the mass band comprising the Ghana Armed Forces Band and Police Band on parade, ready for your takeover. Commander Selassie Yaya Agbenyefia reporting. May I have your permission?
It's the birthday of Ghanaians. One of our colleagues of GBC, she's a Backman's wife of CSIR, celebrating her birthday today, Independence Day. She was born on the same day Ghana attained independence. Fifi Backman, head of stores at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Your wife, Evelyn Backman of CSIR, celebrates her birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Ghana as well. So we're talking about the parade adjutant, and it is Major Lisbon Nsia, who was commissioned on the 5th of September in the year 2003 as an infantry officer with 6th Infantry Battalion. He comes from Seshwi Kojina in the Western region. He is a product of the Flagstaff House Junior High School, Samuel Senior High School, Cape Coast, and the University of Greenwich in the United Kingdom. And he is currently beautiful shots from the Mahama Sports Stadium here in Tamale. Beautiful drone shots, and we've seen a couple of such shots also from the town of Tamale, and it's amazing how beautiful Tamale has become in the last couple of weeks. And the people have been saying that they wish and they hope and pray that the same amount of attention that has been paid to the city will continue even long after the 62nd Independence Day celebration has been done and over with. So I was talking about the parade commander even as we view the beautiful shots. We're back on the tracks here at the stadium. And the parade adjutant, I was telling you about him, is currently the 2nd in command at the 6th Infantry Battalion. The parade adjutant has had 2 peacekeeping tours with UNIFIL and 2 tours with NOC.
And of course, Ghana is the pace setter and holds a special place in Pan-African history. Ghana is the leader in African democracy and development. Ghana played a central role in the decolonization of Africa, and Ghana's freedom broke free more than 30 African countries within the next decade of its independence. And that, of course, is the country we're celebrating today. Some 62 years ago, that freedom is what we're celebrating. And Abdul.
The parade is currently under the command of the 2nd in command in the person of Wing Commander Selassie Yaya Agbenyefia. performing the drills now just before the arrival of the other dignitaries, including the Vice President and, of course, the President of the Republic of Ghana. Joined also in commentary position by GBC's Northern Regional Correspondent, Mutala Isa. Mutala, thank you very much for joining us here in commentary position. But you have been here, you've seen all the rehearsals throughout the weeks. What was it like for especially the students who for the first time would be marching in the presence of a sitting president?
Well, the enthusiasm was very, very great, and even during the rehearsals you could see that in the number of people.
Okay, so the Chief of Staff has just arrived. Chief of Staff at the office of the President has just arrived at the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium. Tamale, for the next hour or two, will become the capital of Ghana, so to speak, literally, because it appears the whole of Ghana has moved to Tamale. There we have Sheikh Kwe, who has also just made his arrival. Sheikh Kwe is currently the chairman of the Hajj board, and Hajj the board made some announcements in the last 2 weeks concerning people who wanted to go for this year's pilgrimage and the fact that they needed to pay before the end of April. So he has just made his arrival. We've also seen the arrival of other dignitaries, including the Speaker of Parliament, as well as the former President, John Dramani Mahama, who arrived about some 20 minutes ago. So Mutala, you were telling us about the preparations towards today's event, especially on the part of the many students who for the first time will be marching in the presence of a sitting president.
The enthusiasm was so great, even for the rehearsals. You could see that in the number of people who came to the stadium in the last 2 weeks just to have a feel of what is going to happen on the D-Day. And you can see the entire place is filled. And it tells you how expectant the people of Tamale are. I can see in the stands there a number of school children. I can see the tea and bread uniform from a distance, and that tells us the students that we have, pupils we have in Tamale who are all gathered. So the enthusiasm is so great here in Tamale. We just a quick one. The name Tamale is actually a corrupted form of the word Tamayele, which refers to Tama is shea butter, a shea nut, and when they say Tamayele, it's the home of shea nut. So that's the correct pronunciation. Tamayele is Tamayele, but possibly this is a colonial legacy. Since we are celebrating Independence Day, we need to make this right, that it's Tamayele and not Tamale, but that has since been changed to Tamale.
Some more beautiful shots, drone shots from giving us a bird's eye view of the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium here in Tamale. Today's parade will be under the command of course, a gentleman who is Naval Captain Samuel Ayelizono. He comes from Dabo in the Upper East region of Ghana, and he was commissioned on 18th August 1995. In fact, he's been to a number of military courses, and there he is on your screens at the moment. He has attended many military courses, including sub-lieutenant technical course in India, junior staff course in Jaji, Nigeria, and senior staff course at the Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College. He has also attended comparative staff courses in the United States of America, and he is currently the director, naval training at the Naval Headquarters in Accra. He will be the parade commander today. He has also been on United Nations observer missions in Ethiopia and Eritrea, as well as in Liberia. The parade commander is a product of Tamale Secondary School, where he obtained his ordinary, advanced, and ordinary and advanced level certificates. He is an alumnus of the University of Ghana, where he obtained his Bachelor of Arts degree in Economics and Psychology. He later attended the Faculty of Law at the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, where he obtained his LLB degree. He then proceeded to the Ghana School of Law, where he obtained a barrister at law certificate and qualified as a lawyer in October 2017. The parade commander is, as we are told, Naval Captain Samuel Ayeli Zono, and he is currently putting the parade in shape ahead of the arrival of the president. And I must also add that the Tamale Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium here in Tamale is filled to capacity. Don't be deceived by the few spaces you are seeing there right now, because those are reserved for VVIPs. But in the other stands where other Ghanaians have come to occupy and to witness the event here today, all the seats have been taken. And this is a stadium that has a capacity of more than 20,000. And so what it means is that more than 20,000 people are currently here. This is, since I could say, about the biggest crowd probably after the Independence Declaration on the 6th of March 1957. So Selikim, let's talk about
let's talk about our history as a people.
Yes,
and of course the Republic of Ghana, as we know, is located in West Africa, in the sub-region, along the Gulf of Guinea, bordered by Burkina Faso to the north, the Republic of Togo to the east, and Cote d'Ivoire to the west. Ghana was inhabited by pre-colonial times by a number of ancient kingdoms, predominantly Akan kingdoms, including the Ashanti Empire, the Akwemu, the Achim, the Bonoman, the Dintra, the Fanti, among others. Non-Akan states created by the Ga and Ewe also existed, as did the Gunja, the Gumba, and others. Now, prior to contact with the Europeans, trade between the Akan and various African states flourished due to the Akan's gold wealth. And trade with European states began after contact with the Portuguese in the 15th century. We've come a long way, Addo, and still dignitaries are making their way into the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium. We were talking about the northern region and its rich history. We know until the split of the region into three was the largest of the 16 regions. But Mutala, you can tell us a lot more about the northern region.
It was the biggest region in Ghana until the 27th of December 2018, when they had a referendum to split it into northeast, the northern and the savannah region. It is one of the richest in terms of human and natural resources, but in terms of development, the region has remained, we are told, about 100 years behind the rest.
All right, so that is the arrival of former President Jerry John Rawlings. Former President Jerry John Rawlings became, you can hear the cheers in the background, arriving to some very loud cheers from the crowd here. And so there he is, responding, of course, to the cheers from the crowd that has gathered here at the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium here in Tamale. And former President Jerry John Rawlings was president of Ghana from January 6th, 1993 until January 6th, or the midnight of January 6th in the year 2001. Before then, he had ruled Ghana in the capacity of a military person in 1979, and in 79 he ruled for just about 3 months before handing over to a constitutionally elected government, which was led by Dr. Hila Liman. It was in 1981, on 31st December, that he came back for the second time and ruled until 1993, 6th of January, when he became the president of the Fourth Republic, the first president of the Fourth Republic. in 1993. And so in the history of Ghana, President Jerry John Rawlings is probably the longest serving head of state ever, having served for a cumulative period of more than 19 years. He just made his arrival a couple of minutes ago, and the crowd here was simply ecstatic when he arrived. We have more of the dignitaries coming in, and we'll tell you about them. But we've also seen the arrival of the Yagbonwura, the Mionlana, and that is the Vice President of the Republic, Vice President, and together with his spouse, Haja Samira Bawumia. Vice President Mahama Bawumia will now take the national salute, and at occasions like this, the Vice President takes half of the salute that is given to the President.
So how does a half salute look like?
When the anthem is played, it's not played in full.
Okay.
And so that's what we're about to witness right now. We'll take you over to the grounds now.
And just before then, the Vice President.
Ladies and gentlemen, Vice President Alhaji Dr. Mahama Bawumia. Remember that he is an old student of Tamale Secondary School, and in today's parade, this school is representing at the 62nd Independence Anniversary parade.
Alhaji, together with his wife, moving to take their seats right now. And what that indicates is that in a very short while, the president himself will be arriving. Of course,
we'll be expecting a special guest of honor, His Excellency Mahamudu Usifu, the President of the Republic of Niger. That is the expectation, that he will make his way for the President, first gentleman of the land, the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, makes his way together with the First Lady.
So, last year at the 61st Independence Day celebration, it was the President of the Republic of Nigeria who was the special guest of honor. This year, that honor goes to the President of Niger, His Excellency Mahamudu Usifu, and he should be here any moment. And then when he does come, we will all be set for the arrival of the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, the President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. There's the 62nd Independence anniversary. But what is special about this anniversary celebration is the fact that for the first time since Ghana attained independence in 1957, the celebration at the national level has been moved from the capital to the northern region. And unless you are here to speak to the people themselves, you will not be able to measure the kind of impact this singular decision has had on the lives of many, many people here from across many, many, many sectors of the lives of the people here in the northern region. Mutala, you have been here, and of course we were talking about the fact that There are people here who have benefited economically. The hotels have been fully booked. Kebab dealers, especially those dealing in guinea fowls, in fact, they are cashing in and they're making a lot of money. Pure water sellers and producers, as we call them, are having a field day. I don't know what else.
As a matter of fact, I just came from the stands, and even cola and the mijingoro, people are chewing it so much up there. People are making brisk business, soft drinks of all kinds. And if you go outside of the stadium, you will find kebab joints that suddenly sprung up just around the stadium area. Food joints across the road from the stadium. There are long queues of people because I'm told that a large crowd has gathered outside. They are not able to make it into the stadium because the place is filled, and they are having some business out there. Also great in terms of those who are benefiting from this is the smoke dealers. Just last week we were at the Tamale Central Market, and the Smoke Dealers Association told us that they have received quite a substantial amount of orders from people in Accra. And if you move up the stands around the VVIP, 90% of the crowd are just in smoke, and it tells you that there's a lot going on within this industry. People are patronizing the sins of the north. They are drinking the poha, they are drinking the sobolo, they are chewing the guinea fowl and chichinga, and it is helping the economy of this land.
Selikem Akola Chapalu is here with us in commentary position. Perhaps it's her first visit to Tamale, and when she arrived, that was the first thing she went in for, the guinea fowl.
That's the way to initiate yourself into the north.
I did love it. It's a delicacy, and we know that in Accra you won't find authentic guinea fowl to buy.
Oh, okay, and I know that's authentic.
I was looking for the authentic one, and indeed, very tasty, very delicious. It's a delicacy, and that is the pride of this part of the country. These are some of the things to celebrate: food, culture, people, and the environment.
And in the next couple of minutes, we will be joined here at the Mahama Sports Stadium by the President of the Republic of Niger, who is this year's Independence Anniversary special guest of honor. But you know, every 6th of March, we try to trace our history. We try to get back to the roots and find out where we started from as a country, and even how we arrived at the name Ghana. People have different versions of how the name Ghana was arrived at and why we even arrived at the name Ghana. But there are various theories, and we have a little bit of the etymology here. The Selikem can tell us about that, if you may, Selikem.
Right. There are two schools of thoughts regarding the etymology of the name Ghana. There is the general contention that it means warrior king, and was the title of the rulers of the ancient West Africa Ghana Empire. But some also have said that it is derived from the Arabic word Ghani, which means rich, and I hope I got that pronunciation right. Ghani, because the ancient Ghana Empire was wealthy. But in fact, it was J.B. Dankwa who gave our country its name Ghana after years of research into the link between the people of the ancient Ghana Empire and the people of the then Gold Coast. And geographically, the Ghana Empire was approximately 500 miles northwest of modern Ghana, and it ruled territories in the area of the Senegal River and east towards the Niger River in modern Senegal, Mauritania, and Mali. And Ghana was adopted as the legal name for the Gold Coast, combined with British Togoland upon gaining autonomy on March 6, that fateful March 6, 1957, which we are reminiscing today, 62 years on.
Indeed, 62 years on, we are talking about all the success stories. I think that there are too many times that we as a nation have focused only on the negatives, but there's so many other success stories to tell out there. One of such stories is the fact that Ghana has shown the way. In fact, when it came to independence and in the sub-region, Ghana was about the first sub of the Sahara to have attained independence. We showed the way when the revolution from military rule back to civilian and constitutional rule began in the 90s. Ghana was again at the forefront, and we have held the fort for more than 25 years now. I'm saying, Mutala, that we have so much to celebrate, except for the fact that we appear to concentrate too much on the negative stories sometimes.
Well, obviously, the negative sells. However, I cannot agree with you more than to say that Ghana has really come very, very far. You just need to make a step across the border to the east. You enter the Republic of Togo and you will realize that we have come very, very far as a nation. Move up Burkina Faso and you will see that we are far, 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 far apart from the rest of West Africa, from the rest of Africa. We are making strides. You find in this land Christians supporting. The minister said this earlier. You have Christians celebrating Islamic festivals with Muslims, Muslims celebrating Christianity religion festivals with Muslims, and vice versa. We have mixed up, as we don't have that strict ethnic identities as it exists in other parts of the world. So we have come very, very far. We have lived together, we have intermarried, and we tend to appreciate each other. You find yourself anywhere in Ghana and you are very, very comfortable. It is not the same. I've lived in a few West African countries, at least for 2-3 months, sometimes in another place 1 full year, and I know the way the situation is in these countries. It is unlike Ghana. There's nowhere in this world like Ghana, and I think that we need to celebrate this. Of course, we always look at the GDP and the skyscrapers to think that we are not there yet, but it is a gradual process, and the foundation is peace. Once we have peace, and I want to believe it is even the theme for this celebration, once we have peace and there is security in this country, I think that we will use that as a pedestal to rise to the economic power that we want to be.
And to our international audience, and remember that GBC's coverage goes beyond the borders of the country. We are on DSTV, and so and on other channels as well, but we are also online at www.gbcghanaonline.com. You can watch this event even if you're moving out of your homes. You can still be kept up to date on your phones, on your tablets, as you move around doing your own stuff. You can still follow the 62nd independence anniversary as we bring you all the coverage. It's live here on GTV. It's also live on GBC 24, and it's live on GTV Govern as well, bringing you the most extensive coverage of one of the most important events in the national calendar. And for those of our audiences who probably read about Ghana a year ago, we have some updates for you. A year ago, you may have read or you may have told your children that Ghana has 10 regions. Of course, you were right at the time, but today, should you tell your children that Ghana has 10 regions, you will be mistaken. Ghana has 16 regions now. Seliken, Ghana has 16 regions.
Ghana today has 16 regions, and we went through a process of hearing petitions, and then we went to also the point where we put in certain legislative instruments through referendums that were held across the country to make this legal and a legislative instrument that gave the president the wherewithal to then sign them into new regions. And now we are divided into 16 administrative regions, and that you see is an overview of parts of Tamale, where all this is coming to you from the Tamale Metropolitan District here. It is a spectacle to behold that this is happening historically from one of the former largest regions, now divided into 3: Savannah, Northeast, and the Northern region. And this is a remarkable event here. So with the 16 administrative regions we have now, They are the Ashanti region with the capital Kumasi. We have Bono with the capital Sunyani. We have Central with the capital Cape Coast. Eastern region, its capital Kufudria. Greater Accra, its capital Accra. Northern region, its capital Tamale, where all of this is coming to you live, where all eyeballs are directed because of this spectacle of an event. Then we have the Upper East region, capital Bolgatanga. Upper West, capital Wa. Volta region, the capital Ho. The Western region, capital Sekendi, Takrady. And Oti, capital Dambai. Savannah, capital Damongo. Bono East region, capital Tichiman. Northeast, capital Nalergu. Ahafo, capital Goso. And Western North, capital Seshi Yoso.
Right, so it is, we've seen the arrival of the dignitaries now, and there he is, the President of the Republic of Niger has arrived. The President of the Republic of Niger is this year's special guest of honor, and he is His Excellency Mahamudu Isifu. Last year was Muhammadu Buhari?
Yes.
This year from
the
Nigeria.
Republic of Nigeria.
Okay.
This year it is Niger.
He will be honored with the anthem.
The national anthem of the Republic of Niger.
The national anthem of Niger.
Presidential salute! Present arms!
And Mr. President, this is how Tamale says welcome to Ghana to grace the occasion of our 62nd Independence Anniversary celebration.
You may please be seated.
President Isifu has been the leader of Niger since the 7th of April 2011.
National salute, national anthem of Niger was played a moment ago. And soon, the President of the Republic of Ghana will arrive and the official program will commence. When the President of the Republic and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, as well as his First Lady, Rebecca Akufo-Addo, arrive, there will be the national salute, the national pledge. Then the beautiful thing about Ghana is the way that the various religions live peacefully alongside each other. And so there will be, first of all, the traditional prayer, there will be a Muslim prayer, and that will be followed by the Christian prayer. Right after that, the inspection of the contingents by the President of the Republic and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces will start. And as is done every year, there will be the lighting of the anniversary flame. We are used to seeing the lighting of the anniversary flame happen at the Black Star Square, where the president just walks over to the other side. Okay, so I just saw some members of the Council of States there a while ago. His Excellency Sanun Mukhtari in your shots on your screens a while ago. The parade commander, we've told you about him. He will soon take charge of the parade, and there is a parade adjutant as well as the second in command of the parade. They will take charge very soon. Right now all is set for the arrival of the president.
And of course, years back, Sarge Food Dr. Kwame Nkrumah made this very, very important statement that our independence is meaningless unless it is linked with the total liberation of the African continent. And from Ghana's story of gaining freedom came all the other stories of freedom around Africa. And we saw 30 African countries within the next decade of our independence also having independence from colonial rule, from oppression, and that symbolized the African's ability to handle his own affairs. And of course, here in the northern region, there are several attractions. You are a son of the northern parts of Ghana,
yes.
But precisely, you don't come from, you stayed in Tamale.
I grew up in Tamale largely.
Yes. And you can tell us about how it feels to be back home, but then this time.
Oh, and this is beautiful. And so right there, the theme, celebrating peace and unity. We're ushering in the President of the Republic of Ghana, who, as he makes his way to the Tamale Sports Stadium, the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium here in Tamale, we've seen crowds wait by the side of the streets to welcome the president and his entourage. That's the convoy that is leading the president into the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium.
What a crowd.
I was telling you a while ago, Silikem, the crowd that is outside is probably larger than the one that is inside the stadium, because okay, so these are the people on the streets. The drone shots that are coming to you right now just shows you the people on the streets who were curious onlookers, just wishing to have a glimpse of the president as he arrives at the venue for this year's celebration of Ghana's independence. This is the 62nd Independence Day celebration, but this is the first of its kind as it is being celebrated outside the capital, Accra. Of course, the event is replicated in all regional capitals as well as in all district capitals, but for a president to attend one outside of Accra, this is the first of its kind, and the people here so far have shown so much appreciation for this, because they are not only cashing in terms of the businesses, but for the first time, many of the things that they have been seeing on TV, they are having a first-hand feel of those things. And for many of the children who have gathered here, this memory will remain with them probably until the day they are called to their graves. It will be ingrained in their brains.
All eyes at this moment are on Tamale.
Indeed, all eyes are on Tamale, because that was
of the northern
yes,
region.
that was the whole idea, to bring all eyes on not just on Tamale, but on the northern region, to project the positive stories of the northern region as well, because you realize that the northern region in particular has been in the news often for all the wrong reasons, but there are a lot of positive stories here that have not been told.
Exactly.
And the positive story here currently is the fact that there is peace. For 17 years there was tension, but that tension is no more, and that is why the theme for this year's celebration is celebrating peace and unity. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana, making his arrival at the Aliyu Mahama Sports Stadium here in Tamale just before he steps down. I think that it will be worth the while to recount some of the presidents Ghana has had since independence, and who have also attended such events and anniversary celebrations. Of course, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was the first president of Ghana, and then we had Edward Akufo-Addo, the father of the current president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He was the second president of the Republic of Ghana in the Second Republic. Then in the Third Republic, we had Dr. Hila Liman as president of Ghana. Then the first president of the Fourth Republic, Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, who is here today. He arrived much earlier, and he has already taken his seat. Of course, John Ejekum Kufuor was president of the Republic from 2001 until 2009, January 2009, and Professor John Evans Atta Mills, the late, was president of Ghana from 2009 until he unfortunately passed away in July of 2012. Of course, former President John Dramani Mahama, fourth president of the Fourth Republic, he is also currently here. He came much earlier. We did tell you about his arrival, and we showed him to you when he did arrive here at the Aliyu Mahama Sports Stadium. And of course, right now, the man who has made this all happen, President Addo Dankwa, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the fifth president of the Fourth Republic, has just arrived at the venue. But of course, talking about leaders of Ghana, we've had two prime ministers. Remember, before Dr. Nkrumah became president, he was the prime minister, and then we also had Dr. Kofi Abifabuzia.
The president of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and First Lady Rebecca Akufo-Addo. And now shall we be upstanding and remain standing for the national anthem of our country.
National salute. Present arms. and loyal to Ghana, my motherland. I pledge myself to the service of Ghana with all my strength and with all my heart. I promise to hold in high esteem our heritage won for us through the blood and toil of our fathers. And I pledge myself in all things to uphold and defend the good name of Ghana. So help me God. Up!
Hello.
Raid! Stand! That is!
You may please be seated. We shall now have the traditional prayer.